Welcome back to the Mad Black Dad podcast. I have a quick story I wanted to share with y'all. Um, I let a black woman down. I let a black woman down. And it wasn't my first time. And this also isn't a recent time. But it wasn't my first time, and it will not be my last time. But it definitely affected me in a way that I would never forget. And so much so that it really shifted the way I look at parenting, the way I look at being a man, the way I look at being a black man. So I just want to take the time to share this story. So it's not quite my origin story, but it kind of is like my origin story. Anyway, um, so it was many years ago. Many years ago. I do not think. Um, I don't. I'm not. I don't think Dom was born yet, or maybe he was. Maybe Leah was still pregnant with Dom, but it was that long ago. So we're looking at like 7, maybe 8 years ago. So I was working in a Radio Shack, if y'all can even remember those, in this little ghost town of a plaza in this small little city or whatever. Um, and it was like in a little plaza, so it wasn't like a standalone. It was part of a plaza. So people just walk in. You get your Chinese food a couple doors down. They had a yogurt shop that eventually closed. Sometimes they had a Papa John's. They also had this corner store that was owned by this old white guy. But every now, oh, and next door was like a T-Mobile, whatever. So, you know, sometimes people would come in, and this is when Radio Shack and Sprint still had their weird little merger. So people would come in and pay their cell phone bills. And that's usually the bulk of our business. Cell phone bills, phone chargers, sometimes headphones, and the occasional elderly person that wanted to get a new house phone. Whatever, nothing major. So there's one woman had walked in, and she had walked in with her son. The boy had to be 3, maybe 4. And I even think 4 was like a bit of a stretch. So they were looking around. He saw some toys, whatever. And she was getting ready to check out, and he was like, "Mommy, mommy, I want some boy lipstick. I want some boy lipstick." It's me and like 3, 4 other guys, all black guys, just really just wasting away working, this dead end ass retail job. Um, and we all chuckled. Didn't really say much about it, but we had just like a little chuckle, and then we left it alone. But the boy's mama did not leave it alone. She got hot. She, fussed at us. She was mad as hell. Like, well, y'all should have said something instead of just laughing at him and calling and let him call it that. Y'all should have corrected him. We looked at her. All right, whatever. She paid her bill or whatever she was doing, and she dipped out. Um, and after that, one dude was like, I mean, he ain't my son, so fuck, I gotta correct him for it. And we all just kind of like nodded our head, yeah, whatever. But it stuck with me. I'm like, I don't know, that it didn't feel good. It didn't feel good. Something felt off, and maybe it was because maybe it's because I was, around uh, the time of fatherhood. Maybe it was because, I just had like a different viewpoint, or I felt like I was more mature than what I really was. I don't know, but it definitely stuck with me that she was so upset that we did not, um, correct him. And not even that we didn't correct him, because I think she would have been all right if we just didn't say anything and didn't laugh. Um, but just kind of let it be. But because we laughed and you know, she was probably embarrassed or she felt bad, and she just let it ride. Now we all knew that the boy meant like chapstick, Because he wasn't calling it, just like regular old lipstick. He clearly knew the difference, but he was calling it boy lipstick, and it was just chapstick. Um, but whatever. So I don't know. It took a while, maybe a couple days. I just sat on it, and it got me. I got to a point where I'm like, but I probably could have said something, or I probably should have said something. And that's where I'm at now. Like as at 30 some odd years old, is where I'm at now. It's like I strongly believe that at every point, at every juncture, where it is appropriate, um, I should probably be saying something to a young black boy that's getting it, not even getting it wrong, but like where he could be a little bit better. I could put him right on the right path. Instead of saying boy lipstick, he calls it chapstick. Instead of handling a situation this way, maybe we can handle it that way. Oh, you don't talk about your feelings? Okay, well, let's address that. Um, or even down to me coaching baseball. Um, all right, well, this is how you swing a bat. This is how you throw a ball. This is how you catch a ball. This is how you run. Um, and this is how you fail or you swing and you miss and you try again. All of these things. So it's like it's just that it's crazy sometimes how one situation is seemingly insignificant because I don't even know if those guys would even remember um, that whole situation if I was to reach out to any of them and ask. But it sat with me, and it's been like I said, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9 years since that happened. But that really shifted how I look at that, how I want to kind of be viewed, and how I want to carry on as a man, um, and also how I would want somebody to carry on with Dom. If I'm not around, not to say that I got to be like dead and gone, but maybe I'm just not at school because I'm not working at Dom's school. I would want a black man to say, "No, Dom, this is how you do it." Um, and just kind of like just give him a little bit of straightening. Nothing crazy. I'm not expecting anybody else to step in and be his dad, and I'm not trying to step in and be nobody else's dad. But I think it's part of that community building and part of that modeling that we have to do, especially as black men. So now, because of that, in part of that situation, but that was a driving factor. That's really how I'm maneuvering through the rest of my life now. And I've been come to this realization, especially because of the fact I've been working, like I said, for education. I've been working in education for, I think this is year 10. So 10 years I've been working in education. It's like, this is absolutely what I want to do and how I want to do it in terms of, working with black kids, or working with kids that just aren't mine. But also, most importantly, this is really how I want to be able to model things for Dom. It, there's going to be plenty of people who model behaviors in Dom's life. Um, and I pray that, they're all good behaviors that are being modeled and collaborative behaviors that are being modeled. But it starts right here. It starts right here with me. I want to model these behaviors, um, and what we should do as men, and just show like real examples. It makes me it makes me think about my dad, and I love my dad. Um, but my dad really spoke in proverbs in a way, a man's got to do what a man's got to do, and a man takes care of business, and a man got to provide, and you know, those things make sense, I suppose, but you tell that to, I don't know, you tell that to a 7-year old or you tell that to a 12-year old. I'm like, I don't even know what that means. Like, what? So for me, because that's definitely how I was picking it up, and I didn't realize, I really didn't get what he was trying to say until now. Until I'm like, I was a grown man. Like, oh, okay, this is what he meant. A man got to do what a man got to do, and I guess that's great. But I want to be able to um, model that, but also explain it. Hey, if I say a man needs to provide, all right, well, this is what we got to do. This is what provider looks like. I'm providing. I'm providing my presence. I'm here. You see me every day. I'm going to be consistent with you. I'm going to be here for you physically, emotionally. I'm providing this type of support. I'm providing financially. I have a job, and my job makes a decent amount of money, and I'll be able to pay for food, or I'll be able to pay for you know um, a new bike or new video games. These are wants. But I mean, put food on the table. Of course, those are like needs and things like that, and they don't understand. But as we begin to talk to them and they get older, I want to be explicit and intentional about this is how we do things. So we're always putting them on that right path, and also modeling that same behavior. So we show them, but we also explain, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what this looks like. So uh, I don't know. I don't know. I want you guys to tell me what you think about that. Do you feel like men or black men should be reaching back and supporting other black boys that are growing up? I of course feel like we should, but everybody don't feel like that. Some people feel like that's not my kid. I'm not gonna take care of that kid. I'm not gonna help that kid. And if that's what you believe, that's what you believe. But me here in this house, I believe that we should be reaching out, supporting, and correcting these young black boys, and setting them on the right path. And we ain't gonna be perfect, and we're not expecting them to be perfect, but we are always expected to try. Always, always, always expected to try and give it our best effort. So that's it. I just wanted to share that quick story of a time where I let a black woman down, and it really affected me. It really hurt me. But you live, you learn. If you live long enough, you're gonna make some mistakes. But if you continue to keep living, you'll have chances to redeem yourself. So every day I get up and take a shower, brush my teeth, brush my hair, put some clothes on, and I try again. I try again. So y'all tell me what y'all think. Share in the comments. Tell me, DM me, answer me back, whatever it is. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So I'll talk to y'all soon. Stay mad.